I dated Jacob, my alpha, for 5 years. Yet on the day of our marking ceremony, he marked another she-wolf behind my back. Molly is pregnant with my pup, your new heir. Jacob proudly announced the news. Everyone cheered for them. I stood in the crowd and ignored the challenging look Molly gave me. When the ceremony was about to end, I turned around numbly. I knew that I was unnecessary here, so I went back to the house I shared with Jacob and packed up to leave. I had joined Jacob's pack because I loved him. Since he no longer felt the same, it was time for me to leave. Jacob brought Molly back while I was packing. He looked at me with regret. Zoey, please understand. I'm an alpha. I need an heir. Molly's young, strong, and fertile. We've been together for years, but you didn't get pregnant. Once she gives birth, I'll remove my mark from her, okay? I didn't reply, and he mistook my silence for acceptance. I knew you'd understand. You'll raise the pup like your own. Molly will leave. I'll give her money. I smiled faintly. He patted my head like I was a well-behaved mate. Oh, and since she's pregnant, it's not safe for her to stay outside. So you brought her back, I said, for him. He hesitated. She should stay where I can take care of her. Maybe your room? It's big and well-ventilated, I said calmly. He looked pleased until he saw my luggage. Where are you going? Molly stepped in quickly. Please don't leave. I'll live in the basement if it makes you feel better. Jacob pulled her close. Your family now. He turned to me. Just move out for now. I'll call you back after she gives birth. I walked past him without a word. This is no longer my home. I ended up at the lake, where Jacob once swore he'd love me forever. Only yesterday, he held me and said those same words. Was it really just about an heir? A faint whimper caught my ear. A small injured pup lay in a hole, unable to stand. I picked it up gently. You don't have a family either? It licked my tears. Maybe the moon goddess sent you so I wouldn't be alone. I took it to the house I lived in before Jacob, fed it, watched it heal. Then came the knock. Jacob's mother, Elizabeth, sneered. Why aren't you doing your chores? Molly's pregnant. She didn't know I'd once carried Jacob's child too. That I lost it, saving him. That it cost me the chance to ever be a mother again. Molly appeared, playing the saint, then pressed the pup's injured leg when no one was looking. It bit her. She screamed, threw it. I rushed forward. Jacob shoved me aside. What did you do to Molly? He'd made his choice, and now, so had I. I didn't do anything. I met Jacob's gaze squarely. Jacob had shoved me by pure instinct. The anger on his face was swiftly replaced by guilt. Zoey, Before he could continue, Molly clenched her hands into fists and bit down on her lip. I'm sorry, Jacob. It's my fault. I touched her pup without permission. That's why it bit me. Whose pup did you say it was? Jacob yelled before shaking his head. He first looked at Molly's palm, which was not bleeding much, then at the pup in the corner. The little one had shrunk away into a corner after being thrown aside. It was trembling and whimpering while looking at all the strangers. Where did this brat come from? Jacob frowned. That brat bit Molly. Elizabeth suddenly strode over and kicked the pup. It flew into the wall with a yelp. What are you doing? I pushed her away and shielded the pup behind me before she could hurt it again. How dare you push me? Elizabeth gnashed her teeth in anger and looked at Jacob. If this brat had bitten Molly's stomach and not her hand, what would have happened to your pup? He didn't do it on purpose. I looked at Jacob as well. Molly pressed on his wound, so of course he bit her. He did it, in self-defense. Molly started crying and raised her hand on purpose. Blood poured out from her wound again and flowed down her fair arm. It was cute, so I wanted to touch it, but Jacob flew into a rage. He shoved me away and picked up the trembling pup. Right when he wanted to throw it out, I blocked him and snatched my pup back. Have you forgotten, Zoey? Our pack doesn't accept outsiders, especially pups of unknown origin, like this one. Jacob narrowed his eyes at me. His expression and words were both cold as ice. It's just an injured pup. It won't be a threat to us or the pack. Won't be a threat? What a joke, Elizabeth screeched. It bit Molly's hand. What if it carries some sort of virus or bacteria? What's going to happen to my unborn grandson then? Jacob, we're talking about your pup. Hurry up and throw that brat out, then punish Zoey. Before you came, she was asking Molly to do chores. She's clearly jealous of Molly's pregnancy, which is why she told the brat to hurt her. The wolf inside me howled in rage from those ridiculous accusations. I did not. Jacob frowned as well. Enough, Mom. Jacob, how can you continue protecting her after she abused Molly? Molly is carrying your pup. Elizabeth then scoffed at me. Instead of being mates with a barren one like her, it's better to take care of your pup and your mother. Jacob did not say anything back to Elizabeth. Instead, he turned to me. Zoey, you're in the wrong this time. Molly is pregnant with our pup. After she gives birth, you'll be the pup's mother. You should be more tolerant and accommodating and take care of her with me. It'll be good for you too. Elizabeth looked at Jacob in disbelief, but he stood firm. What's so good about Zoey that you love her so much? She's so lucky, she grumbled. Molly was stunned as well. She clenched her fists and glared at me with resentment and jealousy. I ignored her gaze and sneered at Jacob. Let's break up. Jacob froze. Just as he was about to speak, Molly suddenly cradled her stomach and cried out, Jacob, my stomach hurts. He panicked and pulled Molly into an embrace to check on her. Meanwhile, Elizabeth pushed me out of the way and anxiously ordered Jacob to move. Send her to a healer. We don't know where the brat came from, so he might have infected her with something. Before leaving, Jacob gave me a cold glare and snapped at me. Throw that brat away or else. I understood his threat all too well. After everyone left, I bandaged the trembling pup's injured leg. Molly had almost broken it. What a witch. Don't be scared. I won't abandon you. I held it gingerly and tried not to cry. You're my pup and the only family I have from now on. Once you get better, we'll leave the pack together. The pup seemed to have sensed my love, for it fell asleep in my arms worry-free. However, when midnight came, Elizabeth suddenly barged in and disturbed our rest. You, witch. It's all because of you that Molly went into shock. Despite me fighting back, Elizabeth got hold of my arm and dragged me to the healer's house while screaming all the way there. You have to take responsibility and give your blood to Molly. The guards pushed me into a chair and held me down. Take her blood. No matter how much you need, it's fine as long as my grandson lives. Elizabeth looked at the healer, who was watching Jacob. Jacob's forehead was covered in sweat. When he received news that Elizabeth had dragged me over, he rushed to the healer's house as well. I pleaded with Jacob wordlessly while struggling against the guards holding me down until he gave a nod to the healer. All of my hope withered away in an instant. I stared at him fixedly. Jacob squatted down in front of me and said gently, Zoey, Molly is in shock, and they don't have her blood type in the blood bank. Don't be mad. Once Molly gives birth, you'll be the pup's mother. Save her now, okay? Okay. I held back my tears. If you insist, I'll give her my blood. But after this, we're done, I thought while holding his gaze.